killing yourself for them. And you won't take one shot at something for you. Think about it. You go, oh, I'm there for the boss. And not even a boss, my supervisor. Think about it. Oh, my supervisor said, well, I don't care about no supervisor. I'm about to own me a company. You talking about a supervisor that's working for them. Think about it. The supervisor controlling you, telling you what to do, and he don't even own a company. He don't know when he gonna get fired. When I have a job, I'm still in a position that I'm taking a risk to be fired. So think about it. I done made a mortgage note, I got a car note, and then somebody come tell me, well, we gotta let you go.
So I got to talk about this Master P interview that I just came across, and y'all just seen a video, and what he was basically saying that having a job is a risk and it doesn't make sense basically to have a job. And he went into it, like he said, it's the fact of you got bills that you have to pay, and you always depending on your employer to keep you employed, basically. You never know when you could be fired or laid off. And a lot of people, especially now with all of the layoffs that's been going on thanks to AI and stuff, people starting to realize that a job is a risk and it doesn't guarantee you safety. But before, the game plan was just get you a job, work there 30, 40, 50 years, retire, you able to pay your mortgage, pay your car note, and you can live a comfortable life. Like my parents and my grandparents, like you was able to do that. But now job security has become, less certain than it has ever in history. Because before computers and AI, we know had destroyed Amazon, Netflix, so many businesses has been destroyed that thrived for decades because there was no other way to get around it. For instance, like we look at Amazon, for example, or just being able to order stuff off the internet, period. Before the internet, you had to actually go to the mall, you had to actually go to stores and get stuff. There wasn't no way around that. So them jobs was always guaranteed and always for certain. Now with AI, with the internet and everything, so many jobs has been taken away. But on the flip side, I would say the internet and AI has created a lot of jobs also. You think about jobs like DoorDash or all of the jobs where you work from your phone, with like Amazon Flex or Instacart, like all of these type of jobs that didn't exist before. It has also, and the internet also has created a lot of jobs too when you look at it. It's so it you have to take the good with the bad, but it definitely has destroyed more jobs than it has given jobs. We look at so many businesses, like so many malls that shut down. You look at what happened to Blockbuster, who had like I think like something crazy like 90,000 employees at one time. So a lot of jobs that definitely have been taken away, and a lot of people are starting to see this is that a job is not a guarantee. It's not going to guarantee it's not going to guarantee you being able to retire and pay your bills. So you kind of have to pivot and think about something else. And a lot of people is coming to this reality. Then, like you said, too, is the thing that always wanted me to get away from having a job. And why I always hate having a job is that I don't like somebody controlling my life. Controlling, like basically got me by the balls, and that's what happened. If you got a family, if you got kids, if you got a mortgage and stuff, you can't afford to lose your job. And that's the problem, is that so you get into a situation to where your job can treat you like shit, your manager can talk to you like shit, and then you can't do nothing because you can't afford to lose your job. And that's what's really messed up when it comes to these type, when it comes to having a job, is that because everybody tell you get a job and get a job. And I'm starting to really hate that whenever somebody say that they struggling or going through something, the solution is always, oh, just get a job. Like a job is a guarantee. And you don't know if this person then got laid off or what did happen. Because you could be a great employee, but just because the company's trying to save money you get laid off and now you just asked out and have to figure everything out. So it is true what he said is that having a job is the risk, and you might as well take that risk betting on yourself. And I can agree with him when it comes to that. But I always said this too, is that just like the people saying get a job or you need to get a job, on the flip side, it's the same when it comes to entrepreneurship and betting on yourself. Everybody not made to be an entrepreneur. Let's just be real. Like everybody just don't have the skills necessary, the critical thinking skills or the managing skills, the leadership skills, the risk taking in them to be an entrepreneur. It's not for everybody. Then if everybody is an entrepreneur, then who's going to be the worker? So I always say that too, is that that's not always the solution, but you should strive. You should take, because I do believe this. Everybody got something that they talented at, something that they love to do. And I always do think you should pursue your passion and you should pursue what you love to do. Like because I it's another quote that always stuck with me, and I'm pretty sure y'all didn't heard this quote from Tony Gaskins, and it goes, "If you don't build your dream, somebody else will hire you to do theirs." And that's true. If you don't build your dream or go after your dream, basically you gonna have a job and you basically living out somebody else's dream. Because that's what it really comes down to. If you look at Amazon, everybody that works for Amazon, you living out Jeff Bezos' dream. Like his dream was to make Amazon a powerhouse and and to make Amazon what it is today. And you working basically to make sure that that's being accomplished. So that's always one of the deepest quotes that always stuck with me. And I always say is that life is not fair. So I always say you have to be realistic too. I'm not gonna tell people everybody should, because this video is not everybody just quit your job and hurry up and try to become an entrepreneur or start a YouTube channel or become a streamer, because that's not guaranteed. But you should always, especially in this day and age of urgency, you should always have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. And for instance, is that with a job is that a job is meant for when you younger and you coming up, you work that job, you should be saving money. So I know that sometimes it's hard because some jobs don't pay enough. And I do understand that. A lot of people don't understand that, is that sometimes a lot of these jobs is not even enough to really save or really to do nothing. Like you just getting by and surviving for real. And always another person that's realistic is that you can't tell nobody never to have fun when they working. Like that's what they would say, save your money. But if you working, full time, you deserve to buy a pair of shoes or have a drink every now and then or go out to a movie or go out to eat. You should be able to do that because we know that that brings on stress and depression. If you just working and all you doing is paying bills, that's gonna cause anybody stress. So I understand that, but that's why I always say you might have to grind and have two jobs or have a side hustle. Like they always say, one of the common ones, have a full-time job and then DoorDash or Uber when you get off or something like that. Like that's what it's coming down to, is that just having one full-time job is not enough. You really have to amp it up, especially somebody who unfortunate like a lot of us is. Like if you come from a family who have money or you got support, then you have it a little bit easier than other people. And that's why I said life not fair, because some people don't have to worry about this. Some people got their family business handed to them. There's people who took over the family business, or parents was rich and set them up. Like, so everybody don't have to deal with the same struggle, which is unfortunate because some people just dealt a better hand than others. But you gotta play the cards that you dealt. So in that case, I always say you might have to hustle for a couple years with working two jobs or having a side hustle. Take that money and, like they say, invest it in yourself, whether it's be starting a company or you could just be somebody who do it the other way, as far as like stocks and bonds, or what else I was about to say, like or getting into real estate, or all of the other things that we know that's out there that makes passive income, because that's what it always come down to, making passive income. And there's a lot of ways to do it. especially now, like they said, there's people who got YouTube page. You don't have to be a big streamer or the biggest YouTuber to make a little decent money. If you can make a couple thousand off streaming or YouTube, that's great. If you can make a couple thousand off something that I even do, another thing is like renting out cars on Turo or other sites. I know some people is against that because of all of the stuff that can happen, but that's another video because I've been renting out 3 cars for a while now on there and haven't had no problem, but I do understand that there can be problems. And matter of fact, I have had like little small issues. So, but that's the risk that comes with anything. If you a landlord, because like for instance, like with the whole renting out cars thing, people say that they against it. It's the same thing if you're a landlord, you have to worry about people paying their rent. At least with Toron stuff, you guaranteed to get paid. You got to worry about them damaging your property, all type of stuff, the eviction process, all of that stuff and that's more common than versus somebody stealing your rental car or getting into a major accident. Landlords have to deal with way more stuff, getting repairs and stuff. And you wouldn't tell somebody, you would not recommend somebody to not be a landlord. So you get what I'm saying? So there's risk with any business or anything that you do, there's going to be risk with it. The same thing for YouTube. If you're a YouTuber or a streamer, we've seen this plenty of times. Your channel get flagged. Perfect example. So you could be up and celebrating and doing good, and your channel get demonetized and flagged. Then what? So it's like there's always risk when it comes to anything, and life not fair. And then you can do everything right because businesses fail all the time. So it's not as simple as just start a business or become an entrepreneur. That could fail too. Like nothing is guaranteed in life, and that's the crazy thing about life is that nothing is guaranteed. But you have to control what you can control. Just like you can't control when you die or if you get a disease or a disorder, but you can do stuff to kind of prevent it, work out, eat right, exercise, stuff like that. So that's what really the key to this is. And also is that bad decision making. That's what I'm gonna end it with this because I didn't make so many videos about this, is that certain decisions, like some people bury themselves. Some people make it harder on themselves, such as we know the number one, having a bunch of kids, especially if you're a woman. You having a bunch of kids, bunch of different baby daddies. They don't got no money. Can't afford to pay you child support. Now you done put yourself in the hole because now you got kids to take care of and feed. You can't pursue yourself. Like I said, kids do kill a lot of people ambition, especially women and the mothers, even more so than the men, because you can't fully go into being an entrepreneur or chasing your goals and stuff because you got to worry about this kid feeding them, and then it's even more pressure on you to keep your job. Like they always say, when you got kids, now you really like dependent on your job because you can't afford to basically take risks when you have kids, and especially if you got multiple kids. Same for men though, because men get on the other hand. If you're on child support for 2-3 kids, that's killing your money that you could be saving and investing. Going to prison, I said this before, going to jail or going to prison is a setback, especially if you're going for years, because in them years you're not making no money, you losing money, then you not in the real world. So you really getting a setback. Then you probably got restitution and that you got to pay. So that's a major setback. Stuff like that sets people back. And that's what you got to really think about. And that's the stuff that you can kind of avoid. And even gambling, blowing money unnecessarily. Because like I said, there's one thing that want to buy some shoes here and there or go off to eat. But it's a different if every time you get your check, you blowing it, going to the bar, eating out like you doing this every single paycheck. Or overspending. Like I said, gambling. A lot of people lose a lot of money from gambling. Living above their means. Like there's certain stuff that you can do to prevent the blow being so bad and the uncontrollable stuff. That's what it really comes down to. Is that you have to be able to control what you control, and then you also should have a passion to at least try. Because like I said, I think there's probably another quote, but I'm not quoting it exactly, but this is what I always say. I would rather fail, like knowing that I tried versus not knowing that I tried. And that's what we know kill us more than any other thing. Like, for instance, talking to a girl. We all, men, obviously women, but just not for y'all. But men, there's always been a girl that you wish you would have talked to. Like, let's say you might have seen her, but you was too nervous or you overthought it and the time just passed. That eats you up more than you getting rejected. Cause you always wonder, dang, what if I could have got her number? What if it would have worked? Like that what if kills more than you being rejected. Cause if you rejected, at least you know what it is. Like you might feel some type of way, but shit, I tried, or she had a boyfriend or whatever, versus you not knowing. So that's why I always say is that you should still go for your goals. That's why I would never tell nobody, do something. If you want to be a artist or actress or a movie star or a streamer or something, try it. I would never tell nobody don't try it. Just always have a plan B or C just in case it don't work out. But at least try it so you know yourself that you tried it and you don't have to live with that regret and doubt of waiting around, and trying to, and especially when you get old, like them regrets when you get old, it hit different because you end up aging out of being able to do a lot of stuff. So that's why we say go after your dreams. If it failed, at least you can say that you tried and always have a plan B and a plan C. And I'm out.